Hello and welcome to the AfterBurners Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Oni, and this is episode 31, the Mexico Grand Prix. With me online is Wes Spinman. Wes, how are you this evening?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Been reasonably busy keeping up with what is now the Billie Jean King Cup, but what was the Fed Cup. So, yeah, I've been kept busy. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm good. Now, should we jump into it?
Yeah, let's get straight in.
The Mexican Grand Prix is this week, the first of three back-to-back-to-back races. Well, I think the first place we should start is Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, because we're coming to the end of a brilliant story this season. Probably one of the best seasons that I've seen in Formula One. And it's just great. We've got a young Dutchman with F1 in his hands with a great future. And we've got the veteran, Lewis Hamilton, a 7-time world champion. And yet, just 12 points separates the two. Tell me, give me your thoughts. Lay him on me. Come on.
It's just an amazing championship battle. It's the best we've seen for probably getting on for a decade, I think, since about 2010, when going into the last race in Abu Dhabi. I think it was between about 4 drivers who could have won the championship. But as you say, for these two, for Verstappen, he's not a rookie, he's not a junior by any stretch. He's been racing F1 for about 6 years, I think, which is, he's only about, 23? And yet he's in his 6th, 7th year of Formula One. He's been racing since he was 17 in F1, which is quite remarkable. And yeah, as you say, Lewis Hamilton, the veteran, definitely coming towards the end of his career. He's got a few years left in him, I think.
Yeah, he's got a few years.
But yeah, for him to, I suppose for the first time, really, and I suppose second time in his F1 career to be properly challenged, or maybe third time in 08, 16, and now of course this year 2021. For him to be sort of challenged by Verstappen and for Red Bull to have a competitive car, again, I think it's great for F1. I mean, I can't remember a season quite like this one where it's just been so close between two drivers. And yeah, 12 points, 5 races left, including this triple header that we've got coming up now. I said last week, if Verstappen can win 2 of these races, then he's nailed on for world champion. And I still stand by that. I think it's going to be very, very close. Mexico, a track that I think slightly favours Red Bull more, because Mexico is, I think it's the highest track on the calendar in terms of altitude. So the air is very, very thin. So it's essentially like Monza. You can just run very low downforce, and yet the cars will still stick to the track. It's I won't bother pronouncing the name because I'll completely butcher it at Mexico City, because the air's so thin, so there's no real downforce anyway. But yeah, there aren't many fast corners either, so you don't need high downforce in Mexico either.
Yeah.
So I'll be looking forward to it this weekend. Whether Red Bull can continue their little streak, I suppose. Whether Verstappen can extend that 12-point lead he's got to maybe 18 points, maybe even more if he gets fastest lap as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Now, I want to cast your mind back to one of the very first episodes of this podcast, and I asked you, and I think Henry was here as well. I asked you, who do you think's going to win the drivers' championship this season? And so I'm going to ask you again.
So I suppose if I absolutely had to, I reckon, to disappoint everyone, I reckon Hamilton. Genuinely, I don't think Verstappen, just because Hamilton is that much more experienced, and I know you're looking disappointed at me, but genuinely, I think I just feel like Hamilton has got a bit more to give this year. He's not beaten yet. Yeah, he is 12 points behind, but for him, he'll see that as only 12 points. If he has a stellar weekend out in Mexico or Brazil or Qatar or wherever, and Verstappen just has one off race, that could spoil it for Verstappen. I don't think Hamilton will have an off race for the next 5 races. Verstappen might. I'm not sure where that'll be. It could be Abu Dhabi. It could be the last race of the season where
It could
Hamilton
be.
just pips into the post. It could very well end up like that. We never know. This year, it's just been full of sort of twists and turns and surprises. But yeah. If I had to put money on it, I'm not a gambling man, but if I had to put money on it, I would go Hamilton, but only just Hamilton. Where would you go?
Well, I'm staying as I
Verstappen.
did all those episodes ago. I said Max Verstappen, and I'm not changing it. Max Verstappen's gonna win this year's F1 championship. Couple of reasons. I think first, I look at Max Verstappen and I see a driver who came into Formula One in 2016 with he just wanted to race, and like as the years has gone by, he's become yes, he's known for his aggressive like on track driving, but like he uses that to demonstrate who he is as a driver, and he's a very fearless driver. He won't let anything like you know stop him, and there's been examples of that. But another thing is that we need someone other than Lewis, someone to step up to Lewis. I mean, we did have Nico Rosberg in 2016, then he retired. I
He did
think,
get a bit of luck though, Rosberg. I think
yeah,
when Hamilton's engine blew up in Malaysia, I think that sort of completely switched things. I mean, not taken away from Rosberg. He had a damn good season, but he did get a little bit lucky. Let's face it. But
yeah, yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, and Verstappen, he is quite a history maker. He loves to break records. Like, there's not one record that I don't know where he hasn't broken or he's like become like the first to do something. The first, the youngest F1 driver to,
yeah,
a Grand Prix. And yeah, I just think we F1 has never had a Dutch Grand Prix champion. So Max Verstappen, why not? And there's 5 races to go, 12 points ahead. What have you got to lose?
it would certainly be something, wouldn't it? Because we've just been so. I think F1 needs a Verstappen win, needs something other than a Mercedes, a Hamilton World Championship, because we've been so used to 7 years pretty much of Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton dominance.
Yeah, don't
That
don't get me
I
wrong.
mean,
Lewis Hamilton is up there. I mean, he's up there. Top. Oh, I'm not even gonna rank it, but like he's up there.
he's one of the best. Just to
One of
just
the
get
best.
out of
Yeah,
that.
he's one of the best. But you know, Max Verstappen is making a statement this season.
Yeah, definitely. And it would be, as I say, we'd be used to Mercedes dominance. Before that, we were starting to get used to Red Bull dominance when Vettel won 4 on the trot. Then we had a little bit of a mix up, I suppose, with Brawn in '09, McLaren '08. And then before that, it was pretty much just Ferrari with, I say pretty much Ferrari. We had Kimi with Ferrari in '07, Alonso '05, and then Schumacher for
Yeah,
5 years, 6 years, whatever. So I think something to just break up this sort of periods of dominance by one team. I think F1 needs a bit of a Verstappen a world champion, something other than Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes. I think Verstappen could well be that man, but I still think Hamilton and Mercedes are going to win their 8th title together. Not 8th title together, 7th title together, 8th title for Hamilton. So before we get listeners, no, Hamilton has won one with McLaren.
right. Just a couple more. Of course, this story has to come to an end, but where do you want it? Where do you want it to end? Mexico, Brazil, Qatar,
I like to go
Saudi,
down to Abu Dhabi.
Abu
Last race of
Dhabi?
the season.
Yeah,
Last race of the season, last corner. I mean, it won't happen like that. It's F1, it won't. But if we just get something like that, like I can't even like 2010, for example. If we just go to the last race where, say, there's like a 6-7 point gap between the two drivers, then whoever wins, pretty much. What if it's tied? What if we get a tie championship? I wonder what happens then.
I wonder how you decide that.
I don't know. Maybe the FIA are coming up with that now as we speak, just in case that happens. Yeah, I want it to go down to. I mean, I don't want to win, or I don't want the championship to end with, say, 1 or 2 races to go. I want it to go down to the wire, like we've not seen for for a decade, and just the pressure on both drivers. Then we will really see who cracks under pressure, who rises to the occasion. And again, I think it will be Hamilton. I remember in 2016, even though the championship was pretty much Rosberg's, mathematically Hamilton could still win it, and yet Hamilton just tried everything he could to try and win that race and try and essentially let people, or try and get the drivers behind to overtake Rosberg, just so he could win the championship. But Mercedes weren't having any of it really. But just bring me Abu Dhabi with less than a 10-point gap between the two drivers.
That will be interesting.
It'll just get crazy, really.
Right. Predictions then. Predictions for the Mexican Grand Prix. Pole sitter, race winner, and your driver of the day.
Pole sitter, I think it'll be a Red Bull. And I think it'll be Sergio Perez.
Oh, I like that.
He had a decent race last time out, if I remember rightly.
He should have got pole last week
in Kota,
or last time.
Oh yeah, arguably should have got pole.
Yeah.
And it's his home Grand Prix as well, so he'll be fired up. Not raced in Mexico for a couple of years, only due to COVID. So Perez, Red Bull, Mexico City. Let's go, pole position for Perez.
Okay. Race winner. Who's going to win the race? Who's going to cross the line? The checkered flag.
I would absolutely love it to be Perez, because the crowd, the atmosphere would be similar to that we saw earlier at Zandvoort when Verstappen won his home Grand Prix. If Perez wins his home Grand Prix in Mexico, it's just going to be insane. It's going to be chaos in the stands. Having said that, I don't think he will. I mean, Red Bull team orders won't let that happen. As much as they'll want Perez to win his home Grand Prix, everyone in the team understands that because the way the championship is, Verstappen needs to win as many races as he can towards his back end of the season. So I think Mexico is a slightly Red Bull favoured track. So I think Verstappen will win the race over the two Red Bulls. I think Mercedes will be close. Hopefully as close as it was in Kota. Hopefully we get another race like that with a pretty sort of strategy battle and close finish in the end. But I think Verstappen will come up trumps, because Red Bull team orders for one, and I think again it's a track that suits Red Bull more than Mercedes. Then driver of the day.
Driver of the day.
You could just guess. I'm going to go Perez.
Have we got one correct this season?
I did have a look back just to sort of tot up all the points. And
I don't even care about the points. Have we got one correct?
Don't care about we haven't got a single driver of the day correct. We've got poles and race wins, as you would expect, but not a single driver of the day has been correct for what race is this now? 18?
Goodness me.
18, 19, something like that. I'm going to go Perez just because I think he'll have a good race, and I think the home crowd will favour him. Sometimes you get sort of biased results, I suppose, but yeah, Perez driver of the day, home Grand Prix for me.
Okay. You know what? I think, pole sitter. I think I'm going to go with Sergio Perez. I think it's his home Grand Prix. I just think about last time. So what was I forgot what last week's race was.
Where was it actually?
Kota,
yeah, of course it was.
Of course it was. I didn't forget that. Anyway, I just thought about that, and I just thought he was robbed. I thought he was robbed of that, pole sitter spot. So I'm saying home Grand Prix, Mexico crowd is amazing. So yeah, Sergio Perez, pole sitter. And race winner. This is a hard one.
It's tricky now.
It's a tricky one.
Hamilton or Mercedes?
Yeah, Hamilton could make history in this race. Well, either Hamilton or Verstappen, as one of them could become only the second driver to win Mexico Grand Prix 3 times after the late Jim Clark. So yeah, so race winner, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Lewis Hamilton. Actually, no,
Oh, no.
no, scrap that.
You're
Max
Verstappen
Verstappen. Yeah,
fanboys
Max
too
Verstappen.
much.
Max
So we've
Verstappen.
both gone the same then. Perez and Verstappen. So
Yeah.
we think it's going to be a Red Bull dominance
I
at
think it's
Mexico.
going to be a Red Bull dominance. I like you said, it's a track suited for Red Bull and low downforce. So Max Verstappen, race winner. Now, driver of the day. Since we haven't got anyone correctly,
we should just say from now, if we get a driver of the day right, that's just it. Whoever gets driver of the day right just wins.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the points don't really matter anymore.
No,
it's
it
just
doesn't.
can we get a driver of the day right?
Yeah, it doesn't. Right. Charles Leclerc. I think.
Interesting.
I don't know. Oh, there's so many. There's so many. Charles Leclerc, Danny Rick, Norris, Pierre Gasly, who I'm kind of disappointed by this season,
Carlos
actually.
Sainz.
Carlos Sainz has been very, very good. Actually, yeah. Carlos Sainz has been very good.
Carlos Sainz?
Yeah. I think I might go for Carlos. Yeah, I think I might go for Carlos Sainz. So Red Bull pole with Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen race win, and Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari would be driver of the day. Another topic that I want to move on to now is sprint racing. As we know, sprint racing was introduced this season to get more excitement amongst the fans, but it's been divided in how Formula One have, introduced it. Some like it, some don't like it, and others, they can't really decide. But earlier in the week, I heard that F1 could introduce sprint racing as a normal approach to a F1 weekend, maybe from next season or into the future. I don't know. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. What do you think about it?
I don't know. I quite like the traditional qualifying format that we have now. Your usual Q1, Q2, Q3, get it done within an hour on the Saturday. I haven't actually seen much of the sprint races this season, but from what I have seen, it can spice things up a little bit with the grid, and for the fans as well. Going on, I think it's a Friday, isn't it, that the sprint races take place?
Yeah.
It essentially gets rid of a practice session where you're not seeing any racing at all. You're just seeing teams sort of test out setups for the weekend, test out tyres, etc. So for the fans, especially, I think the fans at the actual stadiums really enjoy it because essentially they're seeing another race. Yeah, it's only pretty much about a third or a quarter of the race distance, of the full race distance, but it's another race at the end of the day. But does it really count for anything if it's just you get 3 points for first, 2 points for second, 1 point for third? It's just a top three, and it's essentially another sort of qualifying session, if you like. It's quite weird. It's not what we're used to at all, and I suppose that's sort of the point. It's out there to be different. It's supposed to, as I say, give fans essentially more entertainment at the actual tracks. But if you have a qualifying session to set up the grid for the sprint race, and then the grid for the sprint race sets up the grid for the actual race, it gets a bit weird and a bit confusing. And I can't remember when F1 did it. I think it was 2020 or 2019, where beforehand you had so many different compounds of tyre, ranging from like hyper soft to super hard, like 8 or 9 different compounds of tyre. When they changed it, it was just 3 different compounds of tyre, usual red, white, and yellow sort of tyre. Whatever you call it, I can't remember what they call tyre bands. I don't know. But you still have like different compounds. But the newcomers to the sport, they won't really care. They'll just know soft, medium, and hard. They won't know if it's, say, a C1 compound or a C3 compound, for example. So I think sprint races confuse things for people who have watched F1 for a long period of time. But is it time for a change? We had a qualifying format change in 2016 where we had the, to be honest, dreadful elimination style qualifying, where I suppose on paper, in theory, it had some merit to it, but in actual reality, it just did not work at all, and it was scrapped after 2 races. I think sprint races need to, I suppose, be tested a bit more, if you like. We've got one more coming up, I think, in Brazil.
Interlagos, yes.
Interesting to see how that goes. But I think having just completely changing qualifying to all races next year, having sprint races as the main qualifying session, I don't think F1 can make, or I don't think they should make a jump like that without sort of having perhaps a few more tester Grand Prix, essentially. Maybe again next year, maybe bump it up from 3 to even 5 or 6, for example, and then see how they work with the fans, get sort of responses from fans, drivers, teams, etc. Because essentially for the teams, it's another qualifying session, but it's a race as well. So yeah, they want to start further up the grid, but they don't want to go wheel to wheel with other drivers in case there's a coming together and they lose the car for the race on Sunday, where there's actual points to be had.
Yeah.
So I think more work needs to be done on sprint races personally. I think if I was a fan at the track on a Friday, because I presume tickets will be cheaper for Friday than a Sunday,
yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing again another actual race, quote unquote. But as for a format, I think the qualifying that we have now on a Saturday, get it done within an hour, Q3 sets the top 10, and then etc. I think I'm happy with it as it is. To be perfectly honest, I'm happy with qualifying and free practice as is.
And I mean, I don't have anything else really. You've pretty much said everything that I've wanted to say. That I think the current format, I don't see anything wrong with it. Yes, the practice is just, getting used to the track, setups. But at the end of the day, it's the other than the race, it's the qualifying that really, gets everyone on their feet, because everyone's battling for positions. You either started on pole, like Hamilton, or you're starting at the back of the grid, like Nikita Mazepin. Yeah.
There's no other name for it. It just is Mazepin.
Oh yeah.
It's the Mazepin spot, 20th.
Of course. But yeah, that's something that I found. And sprint racing, you either love it, not you don't, or you're still deciding. Anyway, that's that. How about some fun? We all
I sense a quiz?
We all love some fun. And what's no fun without a quiz? And I've got a quiz prepared for us. Now, we haven't had Mexico for 2 years. And if you did remember, I did say Hamilton and Verstappen have won the last 4 races. So, Mexico, 2019. Can you name the final standings of the 2019 Mexico race? Oh gosh.
No, I'll put that out right now. No, I can't.
Can you name
50-50? I can't remember who won the race.
Oh, this is not going well.
I saw F1 put something out on social media saying, "Oh, it was a tense finish," but I genuinely can't remember a thing about it. I can't remember if that was the race where I think it was Vettel got mad with one of the Red Bulls or whatever, or Hamilton at the start essentially skipped turn 1 and went over the grass. I can't remember if that was the race.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, you're on the right line.
Or if that was another year.
So I'll help you out. I'll help you out. You probably don't know who got pole or fastest lap, or do you?
No, not
okay. So pole was Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't have said Leclerc.
Do you want to have a go at fastest lap?
Fastest lap. Kimi Räikkönen.
Charles Leclerc again.
Oh,
no, it was Charles Leclerc. Right then. So
why did I say Räikkönen? He was racing for Alfa Romeo then.
In 2019. In 2019, Wes.
If Leclerc got pole, then he can't have been Alfa Romeo.
Can't have been Alfa Romeo. No. Right then. Okay. How do you want to do this in ascending order or descending order?
Let's go bottom to top, 20th to first.
Right
Why
then.
not?
Well, somebody retired in that race.
Just the one retiree.
Yeah, I'm getting this from Sport
yeah.
Ball. So just
Can you
one
tell me the team
retiree.
or the nationality.
Okay. So the nationality British. He
Oh, that
retired.
doesn't help.
No, sorry, hold on. There are two retirees.
Oh, two retirees.
Yeah, one of them is British, United Kingdom.
Russell,
No, not Russell.
Norris.
Yep, Norris.
It
Lando
wasn't
Norris.
Hamilton, so I knew it had to be one or the other.
Lando Norris. There was another retiree.
Again, even the nationality or team.
Okay. Former F1 champion. He was eating ice cream in Monaco a few Grand Prix back. Yeah, Kimi Raikkonen. Now, who finished 18th in this race?
Latifi.
No, it's not Latifi.
Who else was back in the group back then?
2018.
Was it an Alpha?
No, I don't have the team. I don't have the team names with this.
Okay.
So you want a clue?
Yeah, go on.
This driver, I think over 10 years ago had a driving accident, I think.
Kubica.
Yeah. Kubica, 18th. 17th.
Latifi.
No.
Who was racing with? No, Kubica was Williams. Kubica was Williams, not Latifi. Yeah, Kubica was Williams.
Yep. 17th. Who finished 17th?
Giovinazzi.
No.
I'm gonna get most of these wrong. Just put it out there.
This driver has raced for. This driver has raced for Lotus, Haas,
Grosjean.
Yep, Roman Grosjean. Now, 16th.
Back of the grid, man.
Who finished 16th?
Magnussen.
Oh, Magnussen finished higher, but it's not Magnussen.
Giovinazzi.
No, not Giovinazzi. Another Brit. Going to Mercedes next year. George Russell, yay. Now, 15th. Who finished 15th?
Was that Magnussen?
That's Magnussen, yes. Well done.
I got one right then. One out of however
right. 14th then. 14th. Almost halfway. Just what?
Stroll.
Nope, not Stroll.
Trying to think of the other team.
He was 2019. I wonder if there was any constructor car changes. I think.
Was it Toro Rosso or AlphaTauri?
Toro Rosso, yeah. Toro Rosso is AlphaTauri. Yeah. Toro Rosso is AlphaTauri. Okay.
Danny Kvyat.
No. This driver, his team name, they used to be called Sauber. They used to be called Sauber. Yeah, Giovinazzi. Oh gosh. I don't know if this is I don't know if we're going well or not. Right. 13.
Kvyat.
No.
No. Gasly.
No.
Stroll.
No.
Perez.
No.
Hulkenberg. No. I'm just gonna be here all day.
Hulkenberg did participate in this race,
right.
but it's not Hulkenberg.
I might need clues for each one of them until we get to the top 5.
Oh gosh. All right then. This driver. Oh, how do I describe this driver? I don't know. Oh my gosh, how do I describe this? Oh, Spanish.
Science.
Yeah, Carlos Sainz. Right. Bonus point for guessing the team that he was driving for at this time.
McLaren.
Good lad. Good lad.
I knew it wasn't Renault. Because if Hulkenberg was there, then yeah, it'll be Hulkenberg, Ricardo, Renault, not Sainz.
Yeah. 11th. This driver finished 1 point outside the points places. So who finished 11th?
Stroll.
None. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I went from 13th to 11th. Sorry, who finished 12th?
Was that Stroll then?
Oh, Stroll. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Who finished 11th?
I can't remember who. Gasly.
Nope. This driver has raced with. When did he come in? This driver, right? This driver has raced with. Well, he's raced with Max Verstappen.
Albon.
No, it's not Albon.
Raced with Verstappen. Kvyat.
Yep, Daniel Kvyat.
Well, I've already said that. Oh, it's Kvyat.
Yep, Kvyat. Now, top 10. I think it's safe to say that I shouldn't give you any clues for this.
Oh dear.
For any of the top 10. Who finished 10th? You've mentioned this driver.
Perez?
What? No.
Gasly?
No.
I mentioned him before.
You've mentioned him. Yeah. 10th. Yeah. Hulkenberg. Right. 9th. Come on, Wes.
Ricardo.
No.
Perez.
No.
Gasly.
Gasly. Yeah.
Gasly. We're getting there. Narrowing them down. Right. 8.
8.
Perez.
No. Come on, Wes.
No, I said Gasly.
8th.
Ricardo.
Ricardo, yes, sorry, my bad. Yeah. Right, 7th. Home Grand Prix.
Perez.
Good. 6th.
Leclerc.
No.
Bottas.
No.
I'll try to think what other. Vettel.
No.
Oh. Oh, got bailed out. I can't.
No.
Albon.
2019.
Albon.
Who finished 6th? This is 6th. Yeah. Who finished 6th? It's not Albon. No.
Oh. Ocon.
No.
No, Ocon wasn't even racing.
Ocon wasn't racing in 2019.
He was a Mercedes test driver.
Yeah.
Missing.
6th.
Which names haven't I got?
6th place.
I just can't think of the drivers.
Well, are you serious?
I think of the drivers.
No cheating, please.
So, no Hamilton, no Bottas. Well, not Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen. Unless it was Verstappen.
Oh, that is that your final answer?
I genuinely can't remember the race at all.
Right.
What's Hamilton, Verstappen, Vettel? I'm missing 2, and
is that your final answer for questions? P6.
Yeah, let's go Verstappen. Why not?
Right, P6 Verstappen. Yes. Right.
Oh, it was.
Top 5. I'm not gonna say a word.
Leclerc. Albon.
Alex Albon.
Oh, it was Albon. There we go.
Alex Albon. Top 4.
4th. Vettel. Leclerc. Cool. So Vettel 3, Bottas 2, Hamilton 1. I've got the podium right.
Almost. You've got the race winner.
All right. Hamilton first, Vettel second, Bottas third.
Yeah. Well done.
Got there in the end.
Got there in the end.
I genuinely can't remember a thing about that race. In case it wasn't evident.
Well, we've pretty much come to the end of the AfterBurners podcast. And just one more thing, actually. for all the Extreme E fans, as you may know, as you may know, McLaren will be entering Formula One next year.
Extremely next year. I've been in
Sorry.
Formula One for
Oh
many
my
years.
goodness. Sorry. They'll be entering
Still time.
Extreme E next year. Zach Brown again. Lovely. He has a lot of teams, Zach Brown. A lot of teams.
Yeah, right. IndyCar as well.
Brilliant. And
Everywhere.
I believe they announced their first driver. I think Emma Emma
Emma Gilmore, yeah.
Emma Gilmore, that's it. Rally driver. Great to see another female in Extreme E.
Yeah. I think that's one thing Extreme's done really well, because it has to be a male female driving partnership, which
Yeah.
it just showcases more female driving. Yeah, we got the W Series there as well, but it's as I say, Extreme E is completely different to any other racing series out there. So for someone like, I can't remember who's co-driver in Lewis Hamilton's team, but their teammate is Sebastian Loeb, one of the greatest rally drivers ever. So to have someone of that caliber to essentially not necessarily learn off, but to drive with and just gain his experience and knowledge is, again, yeah, it's great for the sport, I think, and just motorsport in general. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who McLaren announces as the male driver, the male partner in their Extreme E. The livery as well is interesting. I don't think it's as good as their F1 livery, because it's just orange and black. It's quite sort of wavy orange and black. It sort of looks like a Halloween sort of
Have
thing.
they
It looks like a
released
pumpkin.
it, the livery?
I think so, yeah. Well, what I'm looking at now, I assume is the livery, unless it's like some sort of test livery.
Okay.
Yeah, McLaren Extreme E, looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So this has been the AfterBurners Podcast. I've been your host, Samuel Oni. An exciting story in Formula One is coming to an end. Max Verstappen leads the championship by 12 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and we're going into Mexico this weekend. Should be a great race. And ladies and gentlemen, the story is coming to an end. Just 5 races to go. I've been your host, Samuel Oni, and it's a goodbye from me. Bye-bye. And it's a goodbye from Wes.
Bye-bye.
And enjoy the race this weekend in Mexico.